Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th of September. Thank you so much for joining me. This is for your sun or your ascendant. If you get to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did now. This week sees Saturn end its 4.5-month backward journey. I think this is something that we can all let out a collective sigh of relief around. But it is true that last week's full moon in Pisces is still feeding its way into this week's proceedings. This is asking us to remain mindful of the more spiritual or emotional dimension of the more practical elements of our aims and our activities. But it is also true to say that Venus and Mercury are forging a beautiful alliance in the sign of Libra. Of course, Venus rules Libra, so it's in its home zone. And if there is something that needs to be discussed, these two will certainly help us to be a bit more detached and embrace a bit more diplomacy. It is true in the second half of the week that Mercury goes into a square with Saturn, and possibly there could be a bit of inhibition or a bit of a stumble around one particular interaction. But I think it is a chance to reach out, to try to find some consensus, to meet people halfway. However, Uranus is forging an obtuse angle to Venus all this week. So when it comes to relationship issues where money might be involved, it's probably better not to be too impetuous. There's also a quarter moon as this week closes in the sign of Gemini. It's just cautioning us not to try to pack too much in. There is a window of opportunity to be really constructive because Mars is forging an awesome angle to Pluto. So if we're really single-minded and we've done our research and we're very precise in our approach, there is the opportunity for a huge step forwards. But if we try to do too much, this quarter moon is going to catch us out. So if you're planning any do-it-yourself, as this week draws to a close, it's probably best not to be too ambitious. Your specific forecast, Aquarius, suggests that last week's full moon could still be having an impact on you. If your financial situation at the moment is not flowing quite as sweetly as you would like, it could be having an impact on your self-worth and causing some concern or maybe 1 or 2 sleepless nights. But the anxiety bringing energy of your traditional ruler of Saturn's retrograde over the last 4.5 months should not be underestimated. And fortunately, Saturn starts to go forwards this week. So that is something to celebrate. And that ability of yours to see beneath the surface, to predict trends, to understand where people are coming from before they've even told you, is really highlighted by the superb Sun and Pluto trine. With the combination of Venus and Mercury in a much more expansive, freedom-loving and adventurous part of your scope, it's possible that if you're travelling this week or you encounter someone who's a bit different, even a bit mysterious, you could find yourself intrigued. But with the quarter moon in your sister air sign of Gemini, as the week draws to a close, even if you do find yourself really quite wrapped by someone's magnetic presence, just take your time getting to know them better. If you'd like to know more about personal astrology based on your time, date and place of birth, you can order your 2020 forecast, get the rest of this year free and get 30% off by clicking the link beneath this video. But for now, good luck and goodbye.